I'm Trinity.
I'm Olivia.
We are at the Moody Jones Gallery in Glenside, and thank you so much, Mr. Moody, for letting us use your space. We appreciate you so much.
Yes.
Yeah, we're here to talk about my film today. All my heroes were mentally ill.
I'm not gonna hurt. Why are you speaking that on me, Marcus?
You tried to get a trophy. You got a participation ribbon.
Some people didn't even get a ribbon, Marcus.
You tried.
Did you get a ribbon? I don't think so.
We have many questions for you.
We have many questions for you,
And about this film.
Yeah.
The people want to know.
Okay, I'll start.
Who's going first, Rocky?
Alright, the first question that I would start off with was, what was the first little spark that made you want to tell this story? Or that creatively inspired you to feel you want to convey this?
Yeah, I would say... That's a good question. Wow,
Give
okay.
yourself a second to think.
I feel like so many things inspired like this process. Like one, my dating life, of course, when you talk about like the relationship dynamic between like Octavia and Marcus, definitely from personal experience, but heightened a little bit to make it more dramatic. And then I think there was like a point in my life where, even though like I'm young, but I wanted to do this art thing for so long, and I feel like I'm also quite introverted a bit, so attempting to spread my wings and like talk to people, I just always felt disconnected because I never felt like I could relate to a lot of people, and a lot of like, I guess the art places that I found myself in, it just wasn't so like welcoming. So I wanted to make something that captures, I guess, the humanity of wanting to be a full-time artist.
Yeah.
And just like all the existential questions you ask yourself and like, etc.
Yeah. Okay, love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you did that perfectly, honestly. And there was like a bunch of quotes that I had in here just talking about the constant like quest of being good or bad, and how artists are kind of just like not really caring about if their art is good or bad, but kind of just creating freely.
Yes.
I was wondering like what your take on how you create art. Is it more of like an overthinking thing? Do you create freely? Like how do you go about that?
I'd say it starts off freely. Like it's always like the need to express something, and something that I missed in like when explaining like what Spark did as well is like, I feel like we're really stuck in this world of morality of just trying to either be good or bad or be this type of person, when in reality we're all just human and like we fuck up and sometimes we do good things, but that it's not as black and white as that. But when I do start to go back to your question, it's very free. It always comes up with an idea or just like an emotion that I'm feeling, and then when I actually start making it, I would say it's very controlled, but this film has helped me let go of that because I feel like it kind of had a mind of its own, because I wanted things to go a certain way like so many times, and it just didn't happen. Like there are just so many parts of the film that weren't supposed to be the way that it is, but I'm just grateful for how it ended up being anyways.
That's really good. I was also gonna ask like just like challenges that came up about like making the film and like how you went about them, or
The big challenge was editing.
Okay.
Editing is a bitch. And, you know, I thought I loved editing because, you know, I would edit my little YouTube videos, but that...
How does it differ in comparison to that? Like, what do you feel like were different difficulties that you ran into versus like editing a YouTube video or something to post on Instagram?
Yeah.
Or, you know?
Like, editing a YouTube video or like a content is like, there's more leeway.
Right.
Except if you have like an exact idea of what you want something to like look like.
Yeah.
But editing a film, it takes like so many like I can't say that word. Like so many, you have to prepare for it. And the thing is like you have to have a shot list, and you have to make like literally you have to make sure your cameras are in the right angle. You have to make sure, and a big thing that I did, I want to say wrong, but it's also just not my novelty to the film world, is just I allowed a lot of improvisation in it. But it's like when you're improvising, you have to make sure your actors or whoever you're recording kind of improvise the same thing.
Okay.
So it's like if you're editing and one person, and it's, even with your actions, and they have a cigarette in this hand,
Yeah.
but then you take another shot because they messed up, and they have a cigarette in this hand. That is so
Right.
hard to like catch,
Yeah.
and you just have to. It was just, since we had a lot of that issue, it was like so hard to just make everything kind of flow together. But I feel like I tried my best.
Yeah.
It was
learning process first
no,
time.
seriously.
Yeah.
Learning curve for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You did that with a beautiful film.
Yeah, just did it with grace this time. A question that I had in the film was towards the end-ish, when Marcus says to Octavia, he's kind of just like, carpe diem, like, fuck it, like, let's go. And she's just like, right now I need to be here and stop running away from my problems and like deal with the raw emotions that I'm feeling. Do you feel like that kind of relates to where you're at in life right now? Or like how you feel like
It's so funny that she asked that because she knows. She knows. Yes, it does. I feel like, I don't know, for me, dating can be very distracting. And I have like a really big idea of what I want in life and like romantically. And it's like, I don't sit around and wait and like take the bare minimum. Like I sometimes I wish I could, because then I could have a little more fun, but like it's always like, and I'm realizing that recently, since like I'm not dating, I've been finding myself like bored a lot more, but wanting to like fill that boredom with dating and like talking to someone just so they can take me out of like my world and all the things that are going on. But when Marcus says like carpe diem and Octavia is like, no, like my quest for identity is like the most important thing for me. It's real for me because I'm young and like I'm just starting out my life and like my career and getting to know myself more and being fulfilled outside of who I am to someone else is so important to me.
Absolutely.
Especially as women.
Yes, especially as women.
Yeah.
Because we're always like, they always tell us, like, they make us feel like you need someone, or a man to feel. Exactly.
Just compete with yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you
You
don't. It's
don't.
uncomfortable as fuck though.
It is.
And you see it like everywhere in the media, and they shove it in your face.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But no.
They kind of force these external factors on us to take us away from just internally sitting with ourselves and our thoughts and actually discovering like what do we like, what do we want to do with ourselves. Like,
Yeah. And I feel like this is the age we get to figure it out. Like, I really believe the world is our oyster. Like, okay, yes. And that doesn't mean, I'm not going to date again.
Right.
The woman has me.
Exactly.
Right now we're chilling. We're chilling.
I had another question. I was gonna ask, do you feel like through this process, what ways have you like grown as a director, filmmaker? That makes sense.
What ways have I grown? I feel like I've grown a lot, but as a director and a filmmaker, and this like being my first time that I'm actually like set an intention to make a film and like went through with it, I learned so much about literally just how films are made and how much practice, how much intention, how much time you have to put into it. Like it's not something that, it's not like a vlog, like I was saying, like you can edit in a week and like let that joint like be out. Like no, like it takes time, and I was fighting with that time for so long because everyone asks me, when's your film coming out? When's your film coming? I'm like, bro, it's not done. And they'll be like, how is it going? And there was a time where I'm like, shit's bad. Like I don't like it. I don't know what I'm doing, but I learned how to edit better. I learned how to work with people better. Like, cause I made the film, but it was also me and the 4 other people on set with me and my 2 actors that helped me. You guys like helping me like talk about it and spread. Like there were just so many people that played a role in it, and it really helped me. It really helped me discover like the importance of community and like working with people. Cause I'm so used to like doing everything by myself. Like I don't do that, but it's like finding the right people and like when they feel you want something. I feel like you can really make something beautiful.
And it like makes you more comfortable to keep reaching out to people.
Exactly.
Just building more community.
Exactly. Yeah. And it made me realize like, wow, I actually do want to do this film shit. Like, like, oh, hard, but I'm like, it feels rewarding. Like, yeah.
How did you deal with the moments when things weren't going how you wanted or expected to creatively?
I crashed out.
Okay.
Like, I crashed out.
Yeah.
I crashed out like so many times. I would call you, I would call my dad, I would call everyone. I'd be like, guys, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what's going on. But while I was like peak editing, I was also reading, I finished, because I started the book, The Creative Act, A Way of Being by Rick Rubin, but then I stopped and then I picked it back up while I was editing, and it was like a very nice reminder to, as cliche as it sounds, to trust the process. And that's really like what made me believe that whatever art that you're creating, like, it's not about you. Like, it has a life of its own and it's trying to tell its own story, but you're just the person, like, with the paintbrush, like, helping it shape and form. So I really, like, threw the crash out, and after I came back down, and I was just like, okay, like, I would have to take some time off, and I would have to come back to it, because I was also in school. So it was like so many things like happening, but it just taught me to let go of control, and like, whatever is meant to happen is like will happen, and it's gonna come out good. Yeah.
I had another question. And in the film, they talk about like not like picking your own path and your own future, not letting like the world happen to you. And I was wondering like what was your process of like writing that or putting that in the film and how it relates to like your life?
Yeah. So that was Marcus saying that. That was like his own little moment where Octavia realized that he actually had brain cells. That comes from, sorry mom and dad, but y'all inspired that. Like, respectfully, I come, like, you guys, like, I'm Nigerian and I come from a very traditional path, like, this is what you have to do in, like, household, and a lot of my family and just, like, a lot of the people around me, it seems like they move out of survival so much, and they literally just let things happen to them, and then they maneuver through said thing, which is, like, an amazing thing, but I really believe in kind of like taking charge and putting like your foot forward in how your life goes. And of course, like, it's inevitable, like things are gonna happen and you can't control it, but literally having the audacity to show up and like make some shit happen and not be complacent. Like, that's so big for me. Like, I don't know, being complacent is something that I don't want to say scares me, but I just a little bit, you know, just a little bit. Like, I gotta keep moving. Because if the ball rolls too long, exactly. If the ball stops rolling, I stop living.
For real. All that girl.
Okay, so looking back at the film, what part of it were you most proud of? Or like, what really touched you the most? Like, looking back at it, would there have been like something that you put together?
To be honest, everything. How it all came together, because it's like I saw it look from nothing to something, and I would say I'm really proud of the colors. Like, when you actually go to the screening, because MacBooks suck, like, you would actually get to see like the richness of the colors, and color grading was something like I always wanted to learn, and being able, and Aiden actually was like the person that, I don't like, he put me on, and I was like, thank you so much. And he showed me that, and I kind of took it, ran with it, and it was just nice to be able to like make it look like how I pictured in my head. Even though everything didn't work out as I like planned, a vast majority of it still came together. So I would say like everything, like even the dialogue, like hearing people say things that you wrote is crazy. It's like, oh, like that's how it sounds. Like, wow. It's crazy.
Okay. I think the characters did an amazing job portraying that too. I was
did
like,
so
it
too.
just felt like very raw. Like, you felt the emotion when watching it. I know for me, at least the first time after watching it, I'm like, This is a short film, but this like really hits you in ways that even watching an entire hour-long, 2-hour-long film would not. You know what I mean? I feel like anybody watching it could relate in some aspect or some way, shape, or form. Like,
That's all I wanted, just to be able to relate a little bit. If you
Yeah.
smile, like I did a good
Yeah.
job, like thank
Yeah.
you so much. Like no, Debbie and Najee, who play like
Yeah.
Marcus and Octavia, they're great. Like
yeah.
the chemistry on set was insane. Like it just felt like we were all friends, even though this was like the first time we're all in the same space, that tiny ass cabin together. Like
Yeah.
I appreciate every single person. Like we were just vibing. Like after we shot, like we would just chill.
Yeah.
Like it was really a great experience, and I was like, wow, like y'all are cool.
Yes.
Yes. So I loved everyone I worked with.
That's a blessing.
Seriously.
Also, do you have like, if you were like talking to your future self that was gonna direct like another film, do you have any advice for her? Now that everything you know now.
That's a great question.
That's a good question. You guys are asking great questions. Take your time, Buki. Take your time. Don't let other people rush you, and plan better. Like, be more organized when it comes to the pre-production phase, and make sure, at least try your best to abide by the plan you set, because at the end it will save you a lot of time. And just like keep being you, bro. Like, you know, keep making things and keep expressing, and don't stop, because you have shit to say. And I hope we continue, bro. No, we will.
No, we will, yeah.
Yes.
Yes. This is like a random odd question, but like what made you want to pick a cabin to film this in? Was it the intimacy of it? Was it being out in nature? Was it some like what was it?
If I wanted to be deep, I would say intimacy and being out in nature, but I saw there's this show on Netflix called Master of None, and there's season 3, it's called Moments in Love, and it's such a beautiful story, and beautifully shot, of these two couples, these two queer couples, like just navigating, like they're in their late 30s, and they were together, navigating a career and like love and all that, and it was shot in a cabin in upstate New York, and I was like, that's a vibe. I like that, and that was the inspiration for how I'm gonna do it.
That's
I'm not gonna
cool.
lie.
It's just pulling inspiration from it.
Right.
That's all, yeah.
Like it was great. I recommend that season to anyone. Like you don't even need to watch the previous seasons for that season.
Yeah.
Season 3.
Beautiful.
Okay.
So beautiful. But I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
What, even though we kind of spoke to it, I kind of want to hear like raw, uncut feelings when you actually watched it for the first time. Like, was it like, what the fuck? Like, I don't get it. Because I would expect that, or, yeah.
I was, you can go.
You can go.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll just start off by saying, like, I definitely really felt both of the characters. I feel like in their entirety. Like, I didn't like look at Octavia and I was like, oh, I feel you, but like, Marcus, where you coming from? It was kind of just like, I really understood both sides, and although I'm young, I feel like I still, the point that I am right now in life, have been in both of their shoes, and yeah, so I'll start off by saying,
I think for me, I was more like intrigued and open with both of the characters. I feel like I related to Octavia a lot more and just saw where she was coming from a lot more. But as like the film progressed, I started to see like both of their sides and just like the dynamic and the conversations that they were talking about. I think it was like all pretty relatable, being an artist and like putting yourself out there. It was just like really cool dynamic and like conversation wise. Yeah, it was really nice to watch.
yeah, absolutely.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Period.
A question that I did have to, I forgot to mention or ask, was like, what was the significance of like the very end of the film when she's in the car and her alarm's going off to take her meds? Because there's kind of like a break.
Yeah.
Like you really gotta make sure that you're watching it all the way through, because if you just stop it at the credits, we're not gonna see that for the last part.
Yeah.
So what was like, because I did that the first time, I'm not gonna lie.
But I feel like the placement wasn't like right because it didn't flow well. I was like, okay, I'm gonna just put it after the credits and like see. But you know, it does talk. The title is "All My Heroes Were Mentally Ill," and it does play. That scene itself plays like a little. It gives a little tidbit on mental illness because she's taking her meds, and even that was another thing. Like I shot wrong. You can't see, but it's a bipolar medicine. So, and that scene was actually supposed to be a dream sequence, but it didn't end up going that way. But whatever you feel like it is, that's what it is.
Yeah, leave that interpretation.
Yeah, that part.
Absolutely.
It's up to y'all.
Yeah, I
whatever.
love that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say too much.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. But I like endings like that where you can kind of just like figure out for yourself, how did this end? How did this go in my brain? Because I feel like a lot of artists will do that, like with production. So kind of just like leave it open-ended almost.
Yeah.
So it's just like you figure out the rest.
Because it keeps you thinking.
It does.
And it's like,
there's so many ways to perceive it as well, which I think is another interesting thing about it too.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes. Well, this was great. If you didn't know, these two are also great artists. Even Olivia's shy as hell, but Olivia makes great art, fashionista, does great nails. My nails aren't done right now, but she always does my nails. And Trinity is an amazing photographer, also great style, great taste, and everything. Everyone here, like great taste in music, like just all around amazing creatives, and I'm so thankful to have both of you in my life.
Likewise.
This was fun. This was cute. Like.